trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross of The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Akosile Nicholas Walter, and here are the news making the headlines. NRN and orders to delay UTME registration, says JAMB. Sudan Civilian Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns. Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos founder, convicted of fraud. Oil price increases as OPEC projects slow growth in 2022. Mbappe hat-trick fires PSG into French Cup last 16. Stay with us as we bring you details of the news after this very short break. Welcome back, and now the news in details. NIN and others to delay UTME registration, says JAMB. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board stated that pre-examination activities, including registration for 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, will start late due to forces beyond its control. The board also defended its decision to enforce the national identity number requirements in registration process. And the spokesman for the board, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, made the clarifications that most of the board's pre-examination activities, including 2022 UTME registrations, are starting late owing to some circumstances beyond their control. They are, however, ready to do all that is necessary, not only to meet up with the schedule, but also to meet the 2022 UTME registration and examination the best so far. The board stated in its weekly bulletin published on Monday that its decision to implement the NIN was a game changer in the fight against impersonation. Benjamin said the introduction of the NIN UTME registration in 2021 by the board was a game changer in the fight against impersonation and other examination infractions. It is to be noted that the decision to adopt the NIN was a very difficult one given the various challenges and opposition from many quarters to the policy. Moving forward quickly in another development, Nigeria must prioritize security to lives to actually move forward, says Peter Obi. The vice presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 elections, Peter Obi, says Nigeria must prioritize security in 2022 for the country to move forward. This, he says, will boost investments in the country, stressing that without security, people will not think of other meaningful things to do. Peter Obi says that security of lives and properties must be a priority for the country to move forward. With security, investments will flow into the country and citizens will also have the confidence to invest in the country. With the 2023 general elections fast approaching, the former governor of Anambra State advised Nigerians to choose leaders with good character. And moving forward from around Africa, Sudan's civilian Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns. Sudan's civilian Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok announced his resignation following political deadlock and mass protest. In his speech, Hamdok admitted that his efforts to bring a widening gap between political forces had failed and called for political dialogue. Hamdok warned that the ongoing political statements since the military takeover could become a full-blown crisis and damage the country's already battered economy. Also, he says he tried as much as he could to avoid their country slipping into a catastrophe, and now their country is going through a dangerous turning point that may threaten its entire survival if it is not remedied soon. Hours before Hamdok's resignation speech, Sudanese security forces violently dispersed pro-democracy protesters, killing at least 3 people, according to Sudan Doctors Committee, which is part of the pro-democracy movement. And still from around Africa, South Africa Parliament fire reignites. South Africa's National Assembly building in Cape Town was gutted after a major fire tore through the 138-year-old parliamentary complex the day before. Footage shows fire burning in windows with some firefighters deployed to try to put out the flames. The fire destroyed offices and caused some ceilings to collapse in a site that has hosted some of the country's most important moments. Smoke was billowing from the building as several firefighters doused the already damaged structure with water. Completed in 1884, the historic session is where Parliament holds treasures, including about 4,000 heritage and artworks, some dating back to 17th century. And the collection includes rare books and the original copy of the old Africans' national anthem, Die Stem van Zuid-Afrika. That's the voice of South Africa, which was once damaged. It also includes a 120-meter long Keskama tapestry named after a river in the southeast of the country, which traces the history of South Africa from the first indigenous people, the San, and to the historic democratic elections of 1994. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you updates from the United States of America. Don't go anywhere.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, updates from the United States of America. Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos founder, convicted of fraud. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes has been convicted of defrauding investors after a month-long landmark trial in California. Prosecutors said Holmes knowingly lied about technology she says could detect diseases with a few drops of blood. Jurors found Holmes guilty of 4 charges, including conspiracy to commit fraud against investors and 3 counts of wire fraud. She denied the charges, which carry a maximum prison term of 20 years each. Holmes was not taken into custody with no date confirmed yet for sentencing and a further hearing scheduled next week. She faced 11 charges in total and was found not guilty of 4 charges relating to defrauding the public. The split verdict came after the judge says that the jury, having deliberately for 7 days, could deliver a partial verdict after being unable to reach consensus on another 3 counts. Theranos, at one point valued at $9 billion was once the darling of Silicon Valley. The firm promised it would revolutionize the healthcare industry, but its claims began to unravel in 2015 after a Wall Street Journal investigation reported that the core blood testing technology did not work. For nearly 4 months at trial, the jury of 8 men and 4 women were presented with 2 starkly different counts of a former self-made billionaire whose downfall shook Silicon Valley. More updates coming from Australia. Australians desperate for test amid Omicron surge. Australians have expressed anger at facing COVID test shortages and price gouging as the nation battles its most widespread infections yet. Last month, Australia lifted most of its strict domestic restrictions after reaching a 90% vaccination target. But the Omicron variant has fueled a surge in cases, now totaling over 25,000 a day. That's put intense pressure on testing and hospital systems, causing anxiety around the country. PCR tests have always been widely available in Australia, but last week the government began limiting who is eligible to receive them for free. It followed tens of thousands of people spending hours queuing outside testing clinics around Christmas. Isolation times blew out and testing results were actually delayed. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says the new rules aimed to alleviate the pressure on the system, but it has increased reliance on lateral flow tests known locally as rapid antigen tests, which people have to pay for. Mr. Morrison's government has been heavily criticized for a supply shortage, and many instances of price gouging have been reported. Now on business news quickly, oil price increases as OPEC projects slow growth in 2022. The price of Brent, the crude against which Nigeria's oil is priced, increased marginally as the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Country projected a slow growth momentum in terms of economic recovery this year. Also, OPEC announced the appointment of its next Secretary General, expected to assume office in August 2022, following the expiration of the second term of Nigeria's Sanusi Dakindo in July. Oil price figures seen in Abuja show that the cost of Brent appreciated by 1.12% or $0.87 to $78.65 per barrel as at 5 p.m. Nigeria time. It was further observed that price increases was also recorded in oil grades in the OPEC basket and WTI crude. Crude oil in the OPEC basket rose to $77.97 per barrel, representing a 5.04% or $3.74 rise as at 5:10 p.m. when compared to what was posted the previous day. For WTI crude, the commodity appreciated marginally in price as it increased by 0.73% to or $0.55 to $75.76 as at that same time. Meanwhile, in his opening remarks at the 58th meeting of the Joint Technical Committee via video conference, Bakendo expressed hope that the oil sector will record progress in 2022, but stressed that the challenges posed by the Omicron variant of COVID-19 had been tough. And the OPEC scribe noted that the world had learned several hard lessons over the past 2 years, as many economies were now better equipped today to manage COVID-19 and its side effects. This came as a special meeting of the Conference of OPEC, which was held via video conference under the chairmanship of its president, Bruno G. and Richard INT'L, announced the appointment of a new Secretary General for the oil cartel. OPEC disclosed these in a statement issued by the Vienna-based. And still on business news, 188.64 billion naira generated at Oni Port in 2021, says Custom. The Area 2 Command of the Nigerian Customs Service in Oni Port has said it collected 188.64 billion naira from January to December 2021 in revenues, compared to the 69.68 billion naira it generated in 2020. In a statement, the Customs Area Controller of the Command, Controller Awa Muhammad, commended the officers for the feat that they have jointly achieved in revenue collection, enforcement, and trade facilitation. He added that they are indeed laudable milestones that we must only sustain but also improve upon for the benefit of our nation. Mohammed also said that in 2022, whoever attempts doing the wrong thing, like smuggling through Oni Port, will get his cargo seized and risk facing arrest for prosecution in accordance with the Customs and Excise Management Act. We'll go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you sport news. I do hope, and I'm sure you want to hear this. Don't go anywhere.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome to Sport News. Mbappe hat-trick fires PSG into French Cup last 16. And Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick as Paris Saint-Germain overcame their COVID crisis and a drone-related interruption to ease into the French Cup last 16 with a 4-0 win over 4 division Vannes. Despite the absence of 5 PSG players, including superstar Lionel Messi, and Danilo after positive test for COVID-19. Mauricio Pochettino side were never worried by the Brittany Minnows. Defender Preston Kimpembe, wearing the captain's armband, headed in after 28 minutes just after the match had been interrupted by a minute after a drone flew over the Rabin Stadium in western France. Kimpembe then set up Mbappe for the second just before the hour mark, with the French forward completing a hat-trick in an 18-minute spell. Mbappe added a second after 71 minutes after good work from Marco Verratti, and Xavi Simons adding a third 6 minutes later for his 150th goal in a PSG jersey. And still in another sports news quickly, Thiago Silva extends Chelsea contract to 2023. Chelsea centre-back Thiago Silva has extended his contract with the European champions by 1 year to the end of the 2022-2023 season, and the club has announced. The 37-year-old joined the Blues from Paris Saint-Germain 2020 initially on just a one-season deal. However, he has become a key figure as Chelsea won the Champions League last season and sits second behind runaway leaders Manchester City in the Premier League. Tying down the Brazilian international to an extended contract has become a priority for Chelsea, with fellow centre-backs Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen also out of contract at the end of the season. Thiago Silva's experience, leadership and performances have been and remain very important to this squad, so they are hugely pleased to extend his contract by another year, says Chelsea director Marina Granuskaya. They look forward to his continued influence as they seek honors this season and next, and more of the qualities that have led to him having such a big impact for them on and off the pitch. And that has brought us to the end of news on Celebration Television News Desk. In case you miss out, here's the news headlines making the rounds. NIN and others to delay UTME registration, says JAMB. Sudan civilian Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns. Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos founder, convicted of fraud. Oil price increases as OPEC projects slow growth in 2022. Mbappe hat-trick fires PSG into French Cup last 16. Yes, quickly we have photo of the day. Today we have photo of the day. So did you see that there's a boat there, there's a land there, someone on the land, someone in the boat, you know, and there's a write-up there. You always want what you don't have. You always want what you don't have. Okay, that's it's quite sensitive. You can drop your comment on our social media platforms. You can on Facebook. You have Celebration TV. On Instagram, my Celebration TV. You have on Twitter at my Celebration TV. And on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed has bagged his ways to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Be a part of nation building today. Thank you once again for staying with us. I remain Akosile Nicholas Walter. And on behalf of the entire crew, we want to once again welcome you to a new year. We wish you a very happy and productive 2022. It's a bye for now.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by